Today, we are tackling a universal workplace pain point. I call it the conference room stare down. You know the drill.
Oh, yeah.
You're holding your laptop, balancing a coffee, wandering the halls.
Peering through the glass walls.
Exactly.
Yep.
Just trying to figure out if a room is actually booked or if those two people are just chatting about their weekend.
It is a massive productivity killer. I mean, we essentially treat office space like a parking lot, just circling around until something opens up.
Right. So we're doing a deep dive today into a device that claims to fix this specific logistical nightmare. We pulled some specs and data from HDTV Supply on the Kramer KAC-SCD-10.
The 8-inch scheduling panel.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
The mission here is to see if it actually solves the problem or if it is just a fancy digital calendar.
And looking at the source material, it is definitely trying to be more than just a calendar. It is positioning itself as a traffic controller for the hybrid office.
Blending the hardware design with software logic. Let's start with the hardware, actually, because this thing lives physically at the door. It is an 8-inch touch LCD with a 1200 by 800 resolution. Is 8 inches actually enough screen real estate for this?
For this use case, absolutely. You don't want a television on the wall, you want a checkpoint.
Makes sense.
But the most important hardware feature isn't the screen resolution, it is the status LED bars on the side.
The RGB lights.
Right. It seems trivial, but think about the user behavior. You are 30 feet down the hallway.
You don't want to walk all the way to the door to read 12-point font.
Exactly. If those LEDs are red, instantly to stop and turn around. If they are green, you keep walking. It completely reduces the cognitive load of searching.
That is a great visual shortcut. Now, my other concern with hardware like this is installation. Because modern offices are basically fishbowls.
Glass everywhere.
Right. You cannot exactly drill into a glass wall to mount this.
Kramer clearly anticipated that. The specs mention it supports standard wall mounts, sure, but it also comes with an adhesive mount specifically for glass.
Okay, that saves the facilities team a massive headache. And I noticed a small but practical detail in the notes. An anti-fingerprint coating.
Essential. If you have 50 people tapping a screen every day without that coating, that sleek panel looks like a greasy mess by lunchtime.
Gross but true. Let's look under the hood. What is actually driving this? Because a pretty screen is useless if the interface lags.
This is where it gets interesting for the IT crowd. It is running on Android 12.
Android 12, isn't that a phone operating system?
It is, but in an embedded context like this, it means better security protocols and faster processing than older proprietary systems. Plus, it is officially certified as a Microsoft Teams room panel.
Decode that for me. Why does the certification matter? Can't any tablet just run Teams?
Technically, yes, but the certification means the hardware is optimized for the Teams ecosystem. It ensures it syncs reliably with the Exchange server so you don't get those ghost bookings.
Got it. And how are we powering it? I'm assuming we aren't running extension cords down the hallway.
No, thankfully, it uses PoE Class 3, which is Power over Ethernet.
ELI 5, that for the non-technical listener.
It means you run one single Ethernet cable to the device. That cable carries your internet data and the electricity to power the screen.
Oh, wow. So if you were installing 20 of these, you don't have to hire an electrician for every single door.
Right. It is a massive cost saver.
Huge. Though the notes say it has dual-band Wi-Fi and Bluetooth 5.0 too.
Just in case you can't run the cable, it gives IT teams a fallback option.
Okay, so it is installed and it's powered. Walk me through the actual workflow. I walk up to the panel, light is red, room is booked. Do I just walk away defeated?
Usually, yes, you would walk away and start the hunt again, but this is the killer app feature here. The Kramer interface interacts with the building's data. If the room is busy, the panel can actually guide you to the nearest available room.
Oh, that changes the dynamic. It stops the wandering loop.
Precisely. It turns a rejection into a redirection. It solves the immediate problem. And to keep things simple, it has dedicated touch keys for home and back so you aren't getting lost in menus while standing in the hallway. Smart. Now, looking at the price point on HDTV Supply, it is currently discounted to around $504, down from roughly $630. That feels reasonable.
It is an investment.
But it adds up if you have 20 rooms.
It does, but you have to weigh that $500 against the man-hours lost every week by high-salaried employees wandering around looking for a place to sit.
Fair point. Efficiency pays for itself. So, to wrap this up, the Kramer KAC-SCD-10 is essentially trying to remove the social and logistical friction of the meeting room.
It is digitizing the door. It makes the building smarter so that people don't have to work as hard to use it.
Which brings us to a final thought for you to chew on. These tools are getting incredibly good at managing our spaces, auto-booking and redirecting us.
Coloring our hallways red and green.
Right. But as we automate the logistics of meeting, are we actually making the meetings themselves any better?
Or are we just getting really efficient at gathering people into rooms to waste time?
That is the million-dollar question. Something to consider next time you tap that green screen. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. See you next time.